and the appreciation of what has been what laws have been enacted, legislation that's been made over a period of time, but then a reminder, there's still work to be done.
And we've come a long way, but yet 2017 has been a lot of steps backwards for us in the LGBTQ community with what happened in Orlando and attacked on our own soil in our own safe haven. So it's something that we obviously are fighting to be heard and to be seen and to let them know that it's not okay, and we are here to fight against it.
Actually, there's been a certain amount, a rise in the different groups that are participating in the march because of the legislation and what's going on in Washington, that it is sort of to fight and try to preserve the progress that has been made, and as you said, not to step back when you've made the amount of advancements that you have.
And for people who don't realize, Lori Stokes' dad was a United States congressman, not just any United States congressman, co-founded the Congressional Black Caucus, 30 years in Congress, and a fighter for freedoms for everybody. And Lori was kind enough, when we come back on camera here, to give me one of his pocket squares. And I feel like Dad is with us right now.
Oh, yeah, he was part of the civil rights movement, and Michelle and I were even talking about this. You know, he represented in Stop and Frisk that individual, John Terry, and then served in the United States for 30 years, House of Representatives. And he, too, talked about the significance of LGBT rights, and that they were an extension of what he fought alongside John Lewis with, the right to be counted as a human being and to have all the afforded rights that anyone else has in this country.
Very smart dad.
Very smart. Miss him.
You know what? Dad lives on forever, Lori. You know that. Hello, everybody. Yes. Beautiful day here. Look at this. It is so comfortable, so sunny, there's a palpable joy from the people who are in this march right now. Everybody cheering with a big smile.
Everyone's blowing kisses.
Yes.
Everyone is smiling, as you said. And mixed, of course, with all the joy, yes, there's bound to be political statements, of course.
Absolutely.
Let's remember, it was a march.
Amen.
So that's what it still is, and that's what it's all about. But yes, there's a joy that is in unison here as well.
Absolutely. And everyone has that right. This is America. Freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, all the freedoms we have in the Constitution. And the folks here today are expressing that. And in doing so in a safe way, nobody's going to harm them. They're here to have a wonderful time. And that wasn't the case decades ago, sadly.
No, and even a little blending of various different demonstrations. Black Lives Matters being here as well.
Yes.
You know.
And it wasn't even decades ago, guys. It was just a few years ago.
Absolutely.
Right, exactly.
We forget about this. We've come a long way really fast.
And of course, we were talking about the history with the Stonewall Inn, but at the same time, we're reminded that even in present day, that the LGBT community still faces discrimination and hatred. And unfortunately, we had, in one of the worst mass murder shootings that we've had here in history, we had a reminder of that in Orlando. Let's take a look.
It was a night filled with love, and hate entered into our building and took the lives of our family members. They were from all different races and religions and sexual orientation, you know, so the people that lost their lives were people. We call them our 49 angels because, to me, it's them watching above us.
As a human race, that we need to be kinder, that we need to be more inclusive. We need to accept people for exactly who they are, and wrap our arms around people who are hurting. And just remember that we are all one race.
How absolutely touching. How absolutely touching. All those young lives lost needlessly.
Yeah, and I lost my dear friend Eddie Sotomayor, so today I'm here for him and his memory.
It's a very sweet thing to do. We actually saw a picture of him.
We did. He was up there with those 49 angels looking down on us today, and we're here doing what we're doing because we will not be stopped and we will not be free.
And I think they're all here in spirit.
I think you're right, yes. And when you see their beautiful faces, you know, and you mentioned your friend Eddie, you have to believe they're looking down on us and saying that, you know, while there's much to celebrate here, that's just one instance where, not that night, they were celebrating.
Especially now, I keep saying it because it's now more than ever. Now more than ever, we have to rise up. We have to act up. We have to resist. We have to do this stuff right now because we are a focal point. We are getting rights, trying to strip rights away from us as a community. So now more than ever, we have to be vocal. We have to be loud. We have to be proud and come together and not tear each other down from the inside, but build up from the outside.
Beautifully said, Michelle.
Very good point. And you are watching the 2017 New York City Pride March live on Channel 7, the first station ever to bring it to you live as we remember those